Tokyo 2020 organisers on Saturday confirmed the first positive COVID case of the Games in the Olympic Village. Let's go live to Tokyo now to our reporter Gabriella Power, who is there. Gab, what are officials doing about this new case?
Well, Kenny, it has been confirmed that an official is the first resident in the athletes' village to test positive to COVID-19. Organisers are making the point that this person is not an athlete and this person isn't a Japanese resident either. Authorities won't confirm which nationality this person is or where this person's from due to privacy concerns, but the case has been transported to a facility and they'll have to isolate for the next 14 days. This takes the total number of cases connected to the Olympic Games to more than 40, and they haven't even begun yet. And of course, this is the big fear when it comes to hosting this Olympic event in the middle of a pandemic. Authorities have been confident so far that the protocols they've put in place would be enough to keep the virus out of the athletes' village. But 11,000 athletes will be staying in the athletes' village over the next 3.5 weeks, and thousands of more staff. So we will, of course, have to wait and see. But Tokyo 2020 CEO has spoken about this confirmed case of COVID-19 and says that athletes will be tested almost every day.
Inside of the Olympic Athletes Village, we are doing complete COVID management. The athletes are taking PCR tests almost every day or are supposed to be taking those tests. Even if they test positive, they will be immediately isolated. And then we will look out for any close contact. That is the procedure. Even inside the Athletes Village, we will try and keep it in a safe and secure environment, and we are taking every single measure for that. We have taken various measures to ensure safety and security in the Athletes Village. In the current situation, we must assume the possibility that positive cases may arise. As such, we will take proper measures so that athletes who are staying there can feel safe.
Gab, you and your cameraman Dan Armour must be absolutely exhausted. I've been seeing your story about the process of you going over there, how many tests you had to do, how much paperwork you had to fill out just to get over there. You must be wrecked.
It was a long journey to get from Sydney, a lockdown city, to Tokyo. One of the biggest hurdles was actually arriving in Melbourne. We were greeted by health officials there and they had to stay with us while we made our way to the international airport, and they would not let us out of sight. We had to be escorted everywhere, to the bathroom, to get a coffee. And after we went to the bathroom, we had to be treated as if we had COVID-19. So that was then shut off and had to be deep cleaned until we were able to check in at Singapore Airlines, and even that was such a process. All the documentation, proof that we had an exemption to leave the country, and at every point to get to Tokyo there has been a COVID test. There has been so much documentation that we've had to prove that we are who we are and that we are negative. We are at the press centre right now and we've just completed our 4th COVID test. That was a saliva rapid test, and we will be tested over the next few days while we're here, Kenny.
And it's really restrictive, isn't it? Like, you can't just go to an event that you want to cover. You actually have to ask for permission and then go to designated areas, don't you?
That's correct. So we're in a soft quarantine at the moment, which means we're allowed to leave the hotel if it's for essential work. We're allowed to leave to go to the mini market for 15 minutes a day to collect food. And then after the quarantine process for 3 days, we are only allowed to go to our hotel and an accredited Olympic venue. And to get to an accredited Olympic venue, we can't catch an Uber, we can't catch a taxi. We have to get on the accredited Olympic bus. And even just to get here today, that was an hour process, 2 buses, a temperature check and another COVID test. So they are really putting in as many protocols as they can to keep locals here safe.